guys, what's up? It's Stricken06 of Stricken06.com, and today we're going to be working on the Hyundai Santa Fe. We're going to be replacing the sway bar links. Ours is making a funny clunking noise over pretty much almost every bump, and what happens is the ball joint boot tears, dirt gets in there, wears out the ball joint, and you got a bunch of movement in the ball joint. So let's go ahead and start taking off the front wheel and go from there. So I was looking through the parts catalog, and apparently both front, left, and right have the same exact part numbers. So I got two of them, because you're really supposed to be replacing things like this in pairs. If one went, odds are the other one went. Plus, if you're already starting this job, you might as well just complete it through. Now, last night, I took the liberty to apply some thread locker. That's the blue stuff on the threads here. And I'll probably apply a little bit more. This is the stuff that I use, just the blue. I don't use the red. The red's a little bit too permanent for me. Hey guys, now that we got the wheel removed, we are staring at our braking components here, our strut cartridge, and back here is going to be our sway bar link assembly. Here's one bolt, and here's the other one behind here. This is the actual sway bar. So this is the area we're going to be working in, and this is the part we need to remove. Now, one little tip of advice is this is part of the ball joint. The stud here, the nut is separate. So if you just tried to remove this nut here without somehow holding on to this stud, you're just going to spin the ball joint inside the socket. So I'll show you exactly how to hold on to this while removing that. So if you look at the new one has this stud that I was talking about, and then a nut goes on it. But if you also look at the back here, it's flat on either side. You're going to need a 17mm wrench to come in from behind and prevent this ball socket stud from spinning. This way you can remove that nut without rotating the ball joint inside the actual joint. So from here I'm coming in from behind, and you might have to find it because you never know which way it's rotated inside of this area. So you might have to, yours might be down here, yours might be up here. So just find it once it comes on. You're gonna take another 17mm socket. While holding this part, just give the nut a good turn to the left, counterclockwise, and it's gonna come off just like that. The nut that comes off, you wanna save it, because for some reason the new ones don't come with this nut. So you definitely wanna save it. The one in the back here is a little bit more trickier because it's like on a weird angle. There we go, there's that. I won't be able to use my impact back there because I simply just don't have enough clearance between the balancer here on the axle shaft and all these other components. So I'm gonna try to reach it with a ratchet. All right, that one's off. It's giving you some trouble, let's give it a little penetrating oil. Make sure that helps out. I like to use a dead blow hammer and a pickle fork. It helps to get them off. So what I did was I took a jack and slowly lifted up the rotor. I'm trying to take off some of the weight off of the suspension. I'm hoping that's gonna allow these stuck ball joints to release from the sway bar and the strut. And just use my breaker bar and a mallet to bang out this ball joint. There's one. Oh, wow. And this one should come right out. Okay, so you can see that they're pretty stuck in weird angles, and that's what was causing us. I mean, that's not conducive to removing something from a hole, as you can imagine. So this one was bent down, and this one was bent. I mean, actually, you can see exactly what's wrong with this one. It's completely destroyed. Top one's actually okay. It's still sealed up nicely, has just enough play. The bottom one is completely opened. The boot is torn, the spring is shot, dirt got in there and wore out that ball joint. You can see it's completely bone dry in there. And that is what's causing your knocking sounds. So here's our new one. We're going to remove those little safety caps here. They just come from the mail to protect the threads. Just pull them right off. Like I said, I applied some thread locker. I'm going to go apply some more. Actually, yeah, I'm going to apply some more.
How long are these supposed to last?
Good question. Actually, I'm sure my viewers would like to know as well. They're really not supposed to go under 80,000. They're supposed to wear slowly and nicely. So I'm not sure why this one went, but it went. So here's some more thread locker on it. And there's really no wrong way to apply these. They're, I guess you could say, asymmetrical. One from the bottom. Now I'm just lifting up. Just to make enough clearance. And I push that through the back. So using a jack underneath the rotor is actually, in this particular vehicle, a really good idea. You can manipulate the system as you need to go. I'm going to run it down to see if I can turn that ball joint a little bit. Because I couldn't find a spot to hold it. Now, according to the FSM, it's supposed to be 72 to 85 foot-pounds of torque. So you can grab a torque wrench, run these down to 75, and you should be fine, especially with that thread lock on. There we go. I'm going to double check with a torque wrench when I'm done. Now I'm going to fix up the bottom. Here's my trusty torque wrench. I got it dialed to 75 foot-pounds of torque. That's at 75. Now we're going to do the one in the back. Yes, using extensions does modify the torque. Do the math if you want, or just dial in a little bit more. It can't hurt. Since we're doing 75 and you can go up to 82 or 86, just dial in 80 then. So what I like to do, if you've seen on my other videos, is I'll mark the bolts and studs that I work on. So that way when I come back for an oil change or I'm just snooping around, I can see the bolt that I've touched has not moved. I mark the bolt and the backing plate that it's attached to. This way, you will tell if the bolt began to back out for some strange reason. See that? So if the bolt moves, these two lines will no longer be in an identical spot. And I'll mark the bottom one as well. Mark it right like so. This way. Like I said, when you're doing an oil change, just check the bolts you marked, because you know you've played with them. So it's a safe way to double check to make sure nothing's coming apart. New metal things stretch. They do weird things. So it's always good to come back in a week or so and check to make sure nothing's shifted around and nothing's changed. All right, guys, so there you go. That is how easy it is to change your sway bar links. We removed the wheel, removed the two nuts. We learned how to hold on to the ball joint from spinning. We then installed the new sway bar using a secondary jack method to lift up the spindle to make sure we can fit the alignment correctly. We tightened up the bolts. We used a torque wrench to make sure it's on right. We know the exact torque setting from the FSM. And we marked the bolts. So thanks guys for watching. Don't forget to visit I'mStricken06.com, where I have a lot of tools that I use. All the tools you see in my videos, they're on there. You can buy them. I have Amazon links for everything. Thanks guys for watching, and I'm out. So I'm working the video in post-production, and I came across a couple funny clips. So here you go. Alright guys, I took the liberty of showing you what the bad one looks like, right? See that disgusting... I have dirt all over me.
God damn it.
What is he doing? Pretty disgusting. That's the bad ball joint. So I took the liberty of cutting open the one that was good. Look how clean that is. Nice fresh grease in there. The ball is nice and shiny. It's reflecting the sunlight. See that? Mm-hmm. And the bad one that was clunking around, worn out. Pretty sad.